My name is Austin. I'm the founder of Phenom. So a quick background on myself. I was a mechanical engineering major here at UH Manoa from 2015 to 2020, where I also experimented with a couple entrepreneurial ventures and was fortunate to have a lot of help from PACE. After that, I did some consulting work for a local pharmaceutical company here before committing full-time to Phenom. So what initially drew me to engineering was the art of creating things. What I quickly realized and what ultimately caused me to take the leap was that I could better express those passions through entrepreneurship. After realizing that, the leap became inevitable. So Phenom has a pretty extensive history because Dustin and I actually started a couple years ago, but with a different idea. And so long story short, we learned a lot, and Phenom is a pivot resulting from that. Phenom's mission, however, which has never changed, is to unlock opportunities within the sports industry that are previously inaccessible. So the light bulb moment was when Dustin was telling me about how his kid was taking lessons from a baseball all-star, and I quickly realized how valuable that was and just knew that I needed to create the infrastructure to scale and bring that to market. And I'm happy to say that after a lot of thoughts and analysis and testing and validation, we believe we figured it out. So personally, I feel like I had the most to gain from PACE because when I first started working with PACE, I had no business background or foundation. And so, as I'm sure you can assume, I learned a ton, and it truly serves as my foundation to this day. We first started with the fall and spring business competitions, and were lucky enough to win them both, which gave us a lot of momentum. We then participated in the Summer Launchpad and the Liftoff Advisory Program. I really loved my experience with PACE and would totally recommend it for anybody who is ambitious and willing to work hard. So I have a pretty strict morning and night routine because I like to start and end my days with a clear and neutral state of mind. And in between that, I'm either in meetings or preparing for them. And if I'm lucky, then I'll get through some deep work, and if not, then I'll save it for the weekend. One piece of advice I'd have for student entrepreneurs is to try your best to become hyper-aware of your biases. Personally, I found this to be pretty non-intuitive because it's deeply rooted in our human psychology, but I believe it's super important. Ultimately, your biases will influence your decisions, and your decisions will decide the fate of your company. If you're someone with limited resources, I would say to just accept the fact that you're going to have to work much harder than someone with resources. But what I can promise you is that when you finally do earn your seat at the table, you're going to have a better and deeper understanding of the opportunity than the person it was handed to. On the day-to-day, it's pretty exciting when we close deals, especially ones that have been in the works for a while, although I try not to get too wrapped up in that because if the highs are high, then the lows are low. But from a holistic point of view, what excites me the most is being able to give the world something that didn't exist before me. Answering questions about my future plans is generally pretty tough because I have about 100 different versions of the way I think my story will end. And I try not to get too wrapped up into it because at some point it can become distracting. But what I can say, and the only future that I'm focused on, is Phenom's. And so we'll keep progressing and eventually end up at a point where joining or merging with a bigger company will provide better opportunities for our customers. And at that point, it may become the case that Phenom might not need me. And if that is true, then I'll take my exit, live my life a little bit, and come back with something new. I'm always super down to share more about our progress or my journey. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out.